So I'm swapping no 2 sensor on the Forester here. This is the old one, the old connector, and I noticed that it's different from the new one. Of course, you know, this is how it always works. You get the part installed and then realize something isn't going to work. And so I did this earlier today, and I sat and thought about it for a little while. But then I realized I could just depin this old connector here and swap it over to the other one. It's fairly simple, and I know this video doesn't really show it too well. Maybe see if I can get it to focus. Oh, come on. It's too bright. But anyway, right here, just above this pin, has a little tab. You take a pick like this and lift the tab up, and then just pull the wire out from the back. With these sealed connectors, it's a little bit more of a challenge, and this one's covered in dirt, so it might take me a minute to actually get it. It's the only time you should really kind of put any pressure on this wire. And in fact, probably what I will do is let's see, will that fit? Nope. Hang on just a second. Alright, so although this is a bad part, just for the sake of learning, I've got the little tab on the inside pulled up, and I was able to move this wire out just a little bit, but I don't want to tug on this wire too much because it could damage it. So I just got a little tiny screwdriver, and I'll push this pin the rest of the way out, at least far enough to where I can try to wiggle it out. And there you go. So the only thing I'm going to have to be aware of and be mindful of is the location of these wires for this O2 sensor, because in my case I have 2 white wires, neither 2 of them have a tracer, and then I have the black wire at the bottom. So I want to be sure that I get the right wires in the right place, but I'll be a little bit more concerned about that when I'm swapping this connector to the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this and go ahead and pull these out, and I'll come back when I'm ready to put this connector on the other one. Alright, so I have the old connector off now, or rather the new one went off the new part, and you can tell that it's visibly different. The way it connects is different. Of course, now there was this gap. Let me get my pick here. This gap right here, the inside of the female connector is matched to that. This one, of course, I started by modifying it before I decided just to switch connectors. There was a gap right here, and that was in the wrong place, and I couldn't plug it all the way in, so I just took a razor blade and cut that down and sort of dug it out. But I really wasn't satisfied with that, and it wasn't able to actually like snap in and connect in a good way, other than maybe running a zip tie around it, which would probably work, but I don't really want to chance it like that. So swapping connectors is probably going to be the better bet. So I've got the wires separated in such a way where I believe I'll be able to put them back right where they're supposed to be. And it's really just a matter of plugging it up, and you hear it snap in. I'll give them just a little bit of a tug to make sure they're all the way in, and yeah, it's as simple as that. I don't know how it is on other cars to depin connectors, but at least for this application, Subarus are pretty easy. All you really need is a pick, and if you're going to be careful, which you should be, just a little screwdriver to help push the pin out instead of just yanking on the wire. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully this has been educational to somebody. Have a good night.